just waking myself up there from them Man City clips. Boring.
Probably the best football team that we've ever seen. But it's equally boring, isn't it?
Tweets have been going viral recently from what is probably Gary Neville's burner account, talking about how boring Man City's football is nowadays. Well, why is that? Why is the team with the best coach and the best players considered to be so boring by so many people? Well, it could just be some major Man United copium, but let's get to the bottom of this. Right off the bat, I can imagine people being pretty bored by Man City's lack of excitement or tension about whether or not they're going to win any specific game. Sure, every top team is expected to win against bottom table teams, but the excitement comes with the tension of knowing that they can't drop points. They need to win every single game because there is a second place team that's right up there with them. But alas, that's just not how it is with City anymore. Sure, Arsenal gave them a little bit of a run for their money last year and Liverpool beat them in the COVID year. But right now, it just feels like Man City is head and shoulders above any of their competition. And realizing that actually got me thinking about Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. Remember how dominant and amazing they were? Well, did people find their winning boring too? Kind of. They were definitely considered boring by some people, but not to the levels that it has been getting to with City. And a lot of that has to do with Real Madrid and Cristiano Ronaldo. Barcelona was incredible and went on several runs in the league where they did demolish Madrid in a few El Clasicos, but every single time Madrid was right there to give it back to them and be on their butts the entire time, more or less. Ronaldo and Messi were always competing for the Golden Boot, so there never was this overpowered team compared to the other team. Nowadays, people love to say that the Premier League is the most competitive league in the world, and maybe it is from the 8th spot to the 2nd spot. But everybody knows who's going to come first, and it's going to be Man City. They've won the league 4 times in the past 5 years. That's insane. But the feeling of these Man City games is much different than the feeling of those Barcelona games were for the most part back then. It didn't necessarily feel unfair. Madrid and Barcelona together, being how quality both of them were at the time, created this parity at the top of the La Liga table, keeping it interesting. It kept the tension because Barcelona couldn't slip up because then Madrid would be right there to swoop in and take the lead. I also don't really think it's helping the perception of Man City that Pep keeps reinforcing this insane back line that he's got going on. It's like he's rebuilding the Great Wall of China. Ruben Dias, Akanji, John Stones, and Gvardiol now? Like, how are you expected to get past that? It's insane. Having the world's best defense doesn't exactly lend itself to an excited opposition when they play against them. At least when Pep had João Cancelo on the left, there was a chance that he would make a mistake and that they would get through. Good luck doing that when everyone is 6'2" plus 180 pounds. When they don't have a clear flaw in their team, hope begins to wane. And that's where we are at now. However, as much as what I've said so far sounds like I think that Man City is boring, I don't think Man City is that boring. Rather, I think a lot of the people that believe Man City are boring are people that really hate Man City. The teams that would have a shot if Man City weren't so insane. Arsenal fans, United fans, Chelsea, maybe. It's simple. Having one team that destroys all of the others is not good for the Premier League as a whole. Supporters of teams that are expected to be successful don't really have much to look forward to because guess what? You're not going to win the league. You know Erling Haaland is going to score 2 goals off 2 incredible assists by Kevin De Bruyne, or Rodri's going to score a screamer from outside the box at the perfect time to win them the game. They always find a way to do it. I don't believe that it helps that they have this whole reputation of being an oil money club either. I think it's easier for supporters of other clubs to dislike them or want them to fail because of that. And though I'm sure Man City fans want this to go on forever, I don't think it will, and I don't think Pep Guardiola will let it, and I don't think a lot of players will let it either. Pep has proven that he can do it not only with the most talented people at Barcelona, but also in the Prem with the most money in the world at Man City. But chances are he's not going to re-sign his contract with Man City when it ends in 2025. Maybe he wants to do it for the English national team or something, who knows? No matter what you think, that is going to lead to a major shift in the way Man City operates. They can't just buy a new coach and slide him in immediately and not see any changes. I also think a lot more players are going to follow what Gundogan did this summer. These players are the most ambitious people in the world because it is so hard to become a professional footballer these days. Gundogan won everything at Man City. He did all he possibly could, so he wanted to live out his childhood dream and play for Barcelona. Similar with João Cancelo, though he was out of favor at the club, so it's different. But there's a reason Bernardo Silva's new contract has a $50 million release clause for next summer. He probably wants to go to Barcelona because he's won everything at Man City. And who knows, maybe Haaland, probably Phil Foden if he ever feels like he doesn't fit in the team or he's not being selected. I think he will be very quick to leave even though he's a homegrown player. Haaland too. there's a good chance he'll probably want to go to Spain, either at Barca or Real Madrid in a few years too. You just have to face right now that the Premier League is much less exciting today than it was when any one of Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, Man City, maybe Newcastle could have won the league. But I do think that a lot of this outcry and disappointment on Twitter is probably just copium as well, that your team is not good enough to beat Man City. But that will change at the very least in 2025. So just sit back and relax. You got 2 more years of this. But hey, I don't expect everyone to agree with me. So if you think this is something else, if you don't think Man City is boring at all, let me know why. But if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking the video. And why don't you slide on over to my last video, which was about why Messi is probably not going to save the MLS, despite what a lot of people think he is going to do. But thank you for watching. Bye.